of Engineering and Management, Kolkata, India, and I have submitted a paper which I will be presenting it today. So before I start, I would like to thank everyone for this opportunity and really grateful. And it's a privilege to be part of this great conference and where I can come and share the research work that we have done uh, in India, in Eastern India, especially in Kolkata. I'll be sharing my screen right now. Yeah, I'm sure you're able to see my screen. The topic for today is the new PV metrology for performance appraisal of polysilicon PV module in Eastern India, climatic zone. The paper ID is 288-21. And it's presented by Debasish Majumdar, University of Engineering and Management, India. And I would also like to, thank and really appreciate the help from my PhD guide, Dr. Sudipta Basu, and Dr. Rajiv Ganguly, who is also a Dean of University of Engineering and Management and a very renowned professor of renewable energy in Eastern India. So before I begin, I would really like to, also talk about a major solar, progress or installation happening in India right now. We are going through a target of 125 gigawatt installation going on across India, where by 2022, where around 40 to 50 gigawatt is already done, and 30-40 gigawatt is on the verge of being installed in the next few months, and the others are in the pipeline. So therefore, the huge amount of solar installations happening on ground as well as rooftop. The deployment of solar photovoltaic cells is now a predominant activity happening in India to achieve the large-scale penetration of renewable energy sources for access of low-cost electric power, both for urban as well as rural India. Now, one of the main important factor that comes in is the reliability. As these huge installations are happening across India, these are under the PPA or the power purchase agreement, which are signed by the power producer to the power transmission companies, where there is also a guarantee or a output guarantee that has been given in these contracts. Therefore, the reliability analysis of these essential parameters of this polysilicon solar PV modules is very, very important. And we have done this analysis, especially during the monsoon season of Eastern India, where I'm sure monsoon is a very, very relevant part in this part of the globe, where around 3 to 4 months there's a major rainfall which happens, which takes sometimes 8 to 12 hours in a day. The monsoons are selected because this period of the year is known as critical for maintaining consistency of power delivery from the PV generators. The performance is also influenced by some other important weather parameters, that is like the clearness index and others. The impact of clearness index on the performance parameter of PV module has been critically examined in this work that we have done. Now, the effect of clearness index. The performance of PV module is influenced by an atmospheric parameter, which is called the clearness index, is denoted as KT. This parameter plays a very critical role in PV application wherever PV outdoor output power or efficiency is accessed. Like just to go into the details, as we see, the KT is denoted by G by G0. G0 is an extraterrestrial variance in a higher level of atmosphere in the horizontal plane for a particular day in a year. Like, for example, in a particular day, the first day of the year, it is constant, while the other days of the year, the sigma, as we see, changes for every particular day of the year. And G is the external variance which is happening. So therefore, this is a constant, well, depending on as it changes over the whenever the irradiance changes over a period of time in a day. Now, what we have done, we have taken the clearness index on a PV performance for multiple, PV modules that we have done in a span of 2 years. And then we have filled up the fill factor versus the clearness index values. If you can see the curve for a 100-watt panel and a curve for 320-watt panel, which are the most popular used solar modules in forming a PV array. So therefore, you see a graph that was done on 10 January 2019 gives you an idea of how these numbers are moving out. If you see the curve for 320-watt is in the pink color, while the black color is for the 320-watt. Everything is above zero point 0.7, and the deviance of the deviation is very small. Next is a FF versus the clearness index graph that is also on 10. If you see again that the deviation is very less, and the predictability or the reliability is really very high in that aspect, and is not getting impacted so much due to rainfall and the difference in the clearness index happening throughout the day. This shows the PR, or the performance ratio, versus the clearness index, and the next also shows the PR versus the clearness index graph on 15th of March 2019. This slide talks about the regression analysis result for 100-watt peak and 320-watt peak PV modules. If you see for the regression coefficient, which is the most important, is the deviation. It's very near to 1. So therefore, we can safely say, or safely assure, that the reliability of the production of solar energy coming out from these solar arrays is very near to 1, or the predictability is very, very high. And this the reason for this research, or for this paper, is to make sure that the producer of these solar panels are very, from the producer of the solar energy, they can be rest assured that the production of the solar energy will be consistent over a period of time and will not be impacted much depending the clearness index and the different time of the day and the time of the month, which gives sort of assurance both to the solar producer and as well as the solar distribution companies that they can fairly take care of the demand that is coming from the end consumers. So this is sort of a conclusion that we came out with, and these are the references that has been used for our study and this paper and all. And lastly, thanks a lot. I would wish to be physically there and talk to you and have the physical interaction, but I'll surely keep it for next year with entire my group and with my 2 PhD guides in that way. Thanks a lot. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will be more than happy to answer that. Thank you and take care.